Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Baby Boomer, Attracting Baby Boomers to Your Business webinar, our apology for the technical difficulties. But we're going to get right into it. So we lost a little bit of time here, but we are recording this, so you'll be able to see it in its entirety. It is my pleasure to introduce a gentleman who have I enormous respect for. He's a financial analyst, a consultant, and a retirement activist to many individuals looking to retire in the right way of life. He is focused on this group of individuals called the baby boomers, and I thought his expertise would be excellent for us to come here and help individuals understand this market and being able to address this market from a product, services, or a business standpoint. So without further ado, he's written many articles for Forbes.com. You can see his information there, and I'll turn it over to Robert Laura. Hey, Robert, go ahead.
Hey, Lyle, thank you very much. And once again, I apologize about the delay, but let's make it happen. We'll catch up and make up for some time. So, Leslie, if you can click two slides to my agenda slide, we'll get started right there. So, here we're just going to talk about really three simple concepts. Why baby boomers? What are foundations for building a business with them? We're going to talk about tips and strategies for engaging baby boomers and solutions for building credibility and expertise to really build trust and confidence. So we'll cover each one of those in detail. If you go to the next slide, we will jump right into things. Baby boomers are a great niche, but they're a huge niche. And what I like to tell people, the niche is where you get rich. Not so much rich financially, but you can enrich your life and their life as well. But baby boomers come in different shapes and sizes, have different likes and dislikes. One of the biggest challenges I find with people targeting baby boomers is they haven't identified their perfect market. And so what I encourage people to do is to start to break it down. What you have to do is uncover and understand their psychological makeup and profile. I'm a former social worker and personal trainer turned money manager, and so I spent a lot of time doing individual and group therapy. And the reason why I excel in this area and become an expert in the area is simply because I've taken time to get to know people from a psychological standpoint, not a dollars and cents. And that's really what the focus of this webinar is going to be, is switching over to a non-financial, getting rid of the dollars and cents and the, hey, you're going to make a bunch of money, to, hey, we can fill a lot of voids that you have in your life. So it's important to start, and it's interesting because these are popular questions, but a lot of people haven't taken the time to write them down. Who do you want to walk up to and hand you their credit card? What do they look like? What's going on in their life? What's important to them? How do they feel? What are their main fears and concerns? Literally writing that stuff out will give you a distinct competitive advantage going after these segments. And so you're not just going to go after all 77 or 78 million baby boomers. You're going to go after a segment that you have an interest and passion for working with. I can share with you that for myself, I generally go after people who are tech or social media and email friendly, despite the gaffe we had here with technology. But a lot of my stuff is done online, and so I do everything digitally. And so when I work with clients, I want to make sure they're good with emails and communicating with emails, even with text, that they understand social media. And so that's a key component to the people I want to go after. I generally go after, for different types of segments of my business, married couples who want to be grandparents and have a desire to be healthy. And so those are ways to segment down. And so it's very important that as you go through this, you focus on a niche or a group of these people. Now, boomers are a powerful group because they have one major problem they're all facing, and one of the key components to building a successful business is building it by solving people's issues. And of course, that issue is retirement. They're staring down the gun barrel of retirement, and for the first time starting to wonder, not only do I have enough money, but how's the transition going to go? What's everyday life going to be like? What am I going to do with my time? Who am I going to be? And so those are the things that we're going to target. Next slide, please. So what's interesting about baby boomers and retirement, this whole concept, is the fact that there really are two major things that people aren't talking about and haven't truly come to terms with. And what's important with a business is differentiating yourself, right? So not only are you going to understand their psychological profile, but two major problems that they're facing, two giant secrets, what I would call icebergs, because they're out of conversations and they lie below the surface. The first is running out of money, pales in comparison to running out of family, friends, and good health. At the end of the day, I work with people with millions of dollars and those with not that much. And just because they have money does not make them happy. A lot of people can be miserable. The reality of it is no matter how much money you have, if you don't have any family or friends, if you don't have your health and can't do the things you want to do and aren't connected and feel part of something, it's not going to matter. In other words, people need a plan to replace their work identity, stay connected and relevant, as well as keep mentally and physically sharp. People fail at retirement all the time. I'm sorry, can you go back to that other slide? People fail at retirement all the time. They have a hard time transitioning because they don't understand, they don't have a plan for everyday life. I did a research project. We had about 1,800 respondents, and what we found out of 1,800 baby boomers, less than 20% had a plan for what everyday life is going to look like. That's disturbing. People need help with that. They need to understand the pieces that will impact and make for a successful transition. Another thing people aren't talking about, there's a dark side of retirement. There's the highest incidence of addiction, depression, and suicide is with baby boomers and seniors. That's frightening, and people need to know about it. If you think about most people in retirement, let's say on every Saturday you go out with the fellas for a beer or you hang out with the ladies for a glass of wine. Well, guess what? Every day in retirement is Saturday. And so it's very easy that if you don't have a plan to replace your work identity or to connect with other people, you can succumb to those types of things. Same thing, most people have a lot of high quality interactions at work. What happens when you're not working anymore? You have low quality phone calls and emails. You don't run into people, and so you get lonely very quickly. Same thing, suicide, highest rate of suicide. I would have guessed teenage boys or girls or something, but it's in males over the age of 65 because they're not replacing their work identity. These are profound things that people are starting to see but don't know that are going on. And that's where you can start to leverage your knowledge of that need or the opportunity to solve those with a business. Next slide, please. This is the big secret, the second big secret. A business is one of the best ways to solve those issues. And the MLM, the network marketing, direct sales, home-based business is one of the most psychologically satisfying. Again, so the article I wrote that really catapulted me into this area was called "Would You Join a Multi-Level Marketing Company for Retirement Income?" I have been working on retirement wellness for years. I've been helping people connect the dots and figure out how to create that everyday life plan, how to move beyond the dark side. But until I really started to dig into what was happening, did I uncover the power, the psychological power, the ability to use this platform to solve a lot of those issues. And again, I think it's a change up of the frame of mind from going after it for, hey, if you just meet 6 people and they meet 6 people, you can be rich and famous. And again, I know that's kind of old school. I'm not saying that's what you do, but that's the impression that people have when you walk up to them and say, hey, I want you to come to this meeting, or would you mind watching this video? It's not going to have the same weight as saying, hey, retirement's on the horizon, you're in there. You're struggling. Here's some things that you can do. And again, as I interviewed people, money became a secondary issue. It wasn't a dollar cents type of thing. People wanted to be relevant and connected. Several of my friends are in the MLM business. They're always fired up. They've always got something positive to say. They're always going somewhere with a group of people. It doesn't cost a ton of money to get in, and they're usually leveraging something that they enjoy or are passionate about, whether it's weight loss or something associated with health and wellness. And so that's a huge opportunity to really start to leverage the concept of the new and emerging concept of retirement with a business model. And so that's kind of the foundation for why I think, you and other people in the business are well positioned to really start to look at and talk about these things and identify and align your business, your products and services with their psychological profile and what's important to them. I don't know. I know we're just a few minutes in, Leslie, but are there any quick questions before we jump into the next section?
Robert,
Any easy questions?
Robert, I'll suggest that we keep going and take the questions not at this point, so we can get through the material, and then we can spend time with everyone to answer questions. So I'm taking the questions. Guys, if you have any questions, put it in your comment section and I'll address them in order of how you type them in there. So as we go along. So go ahead, Robert, continue.
Go ahead, next slide, please. So, the important thing we talked about so far is kind of, establishing that niche, understanding the psychological profile, and then really approaching people to build a business to solve some of the non-financial aspects of retirement. But at the same token, obviously, there's the ancillary benefit that if you're selling products or services or building your business, you'll be able to generate some income. Kind of breaking down, how do you engage baby boomers? And really what we know about boomers is they're skeptical. And this came from a lot of people who just shared, some feedback from the questions Leslie had sent out about what tools and solutions you're looking for. People have been burned by a multi-level marketing program or been told something that it wasn't and given a bad impression of it. Boomers are lifelong learners. They're very education, information based. They have a desire to look and feel young and stay young and stay healthy, and they want to have an impact on others. Kind of connecting the dots really quickly, that means you have to position yourself to provide useful knowledge and information that improves their overall well-being. And it's no different than that's a fancy way of saying, why in the heck should someone trust you or care about what you're trying to do for them? And it just means that you've got to establish yourself as an educator, as a helper, as a consultant to help them see the benefits you can provide. And you have to actually add value. They've got to be able to see, and again, that's why I think that non-financial aspect, and as you'll see some of the guides and things we have, like to wake them up to that stuff. People have these mini aha moments, or else they start to have questions like, oh gosh, I never thought about that. How do I fix it? And so it's really about positioning yourself as an educator and a relationship builder. This is all stuff that it's just going to be much simpler to take it from a non-financial aspect than from a financial aspect. Next slide, please. And so a couple of the most important things that you can do is you have to redefine entrepreneurship in a way that meets baby boomers' expectation and understanding. There's a lot of myths associated with building a business or being a business owner. People kind of assume that business owners have it all together. Well, I can tell you firsthand that's not the case. Obviously, look at tonight, like we got hundreds of people on this call and we're running 10 minutes behind. Nothing ever goes as planned, and so helping people see and understand that, and being the fact that nothing is perfect. Another thing is, when you talk about entrepreneurship, it doesn't mean you have to start the next Apple, invent a light bulb, or work 65 hours a week. And so that's an important question for each one of you is, how do you define entrepreneurship? How do you educate other people? For me, it's as simple as breaking it down to entrepreneurship is the retired nurse who teaches CPR courses a couple times a month to kids and camp counselors. It's the guy who goes garage sale and then has his, buys and takes pictures of stuff, and his wife posts it on eBay, and he sells it for a few dollars more than he bought it for. It's the widow who rents out a room to the college student. When you start to put it into terms that they can understand and grasp, it lowers those barriers of it's going to cost a bunch of money, it's going to take a bunch of time. And I'm not saying you don't have to invest in your business, that's not going to take time, but you've got to let it be much more approachable for them. And you can just kind of see when you're talking to people, their shoulders kind of just, okay, it's not a giant, crazy big thing that I have to have a business plan for and an LLC and an accountant and software. No, let's just start with uncovering a passion and aligning it with a business or a product and service. And that's kind of the next key thing is, how do you uncover a passion? And again, when we're talking about social media strategies or what you're going to blog about, once again, it's not common for people to talk about this stuff. To say, who are you when you're not working? Or have you thought about turning a passion or a hobby into a business? And so these are game-changing questions because it's just not stuff people have thought about. So let me give you the formula for helping someone uncover their passion. And again, this is how you're going to position yourself as an educator, as an influencer, someone there to help them. It's 3 steps. You want to identify things that are timeless, tireless, and cause contagious energy. If you think about timeless, when you're doing something and time just goes by, you could do it all day long, and goes from you start at 2 o'clock and it's 10 o'clock before you pick your head up, and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe all that time went by. It's tireless because you're like a toddler, right? When a toddler says, do again, do again, you can keep doing it over and over and over again, and you continue to find joy in it. And finally, it causes contagious energy. When you talk about it or other people talk about it, you light up and get excited. That's a very simple way to identify what you're passionate about. If you position yourself as a person to help people uncover their passion and then align a business or a product or service with it, you're going to make leaps and bounds in helping people make a successful transition into retirement, satisfy those needs, and generate some additional income. 2 strategies to use: follow-up and consistency. 2 strategies to use once you uncover that passion. 1, lifestyle marketing. So as you're targeting boomers, you know their psychological makeup, you know what their passion is. Lifestyle marketing is before and after. So here's what they look like before they use the cream, or here's what they look like before and after they lost this weight, or here's what their life was like before they started a business and after. And so it's also taking lotions or vitamins to your grandson's or granddaughter's baseball or soccer game and actually living out what you're trying to do. And that's pretty common. I think a lot of people are aware of that approach. The other one I like to do is soap opera marketing. If you've ever watched a soap opera, there's a lot of drama. There's ups and downs. They leave you hanging on edge, and they kind of bring you in. Well, you want to identify people that meet your target group, and so looking in your upline or your downline or just other people around you and saying, here's what Sally Smith or John Smith did. He was forced into retirement, or he decided to retire to do this, and he felt like quitting 5 times, and here's the things he had to overcome. So paint a picture that's engaging, that's high drama, that really wants to draw them in and see and be like that person. So those are a couple key things that you can do to kind of engage boomers, is redefine entrepreneurship for them and uncover that passion, and again, use the before and after kind of style as well as soap opera stuff, really sell them in those areas. Next slide, please. So really, then kind of the next piece is, what are the nuts and bolts? How do I make use of this? And so what we've done is we wanted to go out and do the work and package up all the program for you. So we wanted to create a program that could come alongside what you're already doing and seamlessly provide credibility and time-tested content that you can use to educate and empower prospects. Now, this program isn't for everybody, and that's okay. You can go to retirementbusiness.org and you can look at it all. You can see samples or examples of it, and you can read through all the content and other things, but what I want you to consider doing is labeling yourself as a retirement business advocate. And that's an important label because it's got 3 keywords: retirement, big issue, right? Business, big solution. Advocate, I'm an educator, I'm a helper, I'm a consultant, I'm here for you. And so by labeling yourself in that category and providing educational content, you're creating a neutral platform that doesn't necessarily say, hey, you have to join my business, but if you have an interest, there's the opportunity. And it's really about marketing and establishing yourself as a credible person in this area of interest. When it comes to financial services, it was interesting because when I went independent, when I started my own business, I would call around to set meetings and to do workshops and stuff. Whenever I said, Robert Laura Financial Advisor, I'd hear a click on the other end because people immediately thought that I was going to try and sell them something, or I was Bernie Madoff or something terrible. And so very similar when you say, hey, I want you to think about joining a business, people can be turned off and really shut you down right away. But by saying, hey, I'm a retirement business advocate, I help people look at the personal and financial benefits of starting a business in retirement and to replace their work identity, fill their time, and help them stay connected to their community, it opens up some more doors. And again, if you're like me, when I meet somebody, I go online to find things out about them. I want to make sure there's credible and there's some substance behind them. And so that's what we've done with this program. I can't show you my screens or the slides or anything, but again, when you have time to go to retirementbusiness.org, you can click on the program. What you're essentially going to get with the program is a personalized website. And basically it's going to have your picture, your bio, some content, and then you're going to have these 3 guides that you see right there. Retirement Secret tells you and tells the people you send it to exactly what we just covered. The changes, the changing landscape of retirement, the challenges for the financial and non-financial aspects, and the opportunity that starts a business. Once again, it's all neutral, but again, people are going to land on the page, they're going to look at the guide, and the guide, we co-brand it with your name on it. And so it doesn't say The Retirement Secret by Robert Laura. It says The Retirement Secret by Retirement Business Advocate Sally Smith. Retirement Business Advocate John Smith. It has your information, your contact information, and so we want you to establish you as the source, and so that's what the program is designed to do. It's real nuts and bolts. Now, this is important. So some of you may be business coaches or be doing some other things or have your own website. I mean, gosh, you can create your own, hire a web guy to create your own website, a dynamic site, write your own 8 to 10 or 12, page guides, write your own blog posts. You can emulate this same stuff. You don't have to use the program we created. We're just building a foundation. We're licensing and leveraging you the ability to use the stuff. We've spent years doing it, and really we're going to offer some special pricing for it. I think, Leslie, the next slide is an old slide, so I think we want to just hold off on that because the special pricing for the program normally runs $129, but we're offering it today for $59 per year. And again, Leslie's going to send out an email to those associated with Derenoncourt University for $29.95 a year. But essentially what the goal of the program is to license and leverage the content and information for people in different phases of considering a business. The Retirement Secret's kind of an aha moment, wakes people up to the need and opportunity to plan beyond the non-financial stuff and the benefits that starting a business can provide. Some people may already be interested in starting a business, and so how to start a business for retirement income gives them some ideas and strategies to consider as they're going through the process. And again, finally, the dark side of retirement, that's for someone who maybe has no interest or is kind of like, I don't think so. It's going to wake them up to the realities of not having a plan for everyday life. And so once again, it's basically a packaged program that you can easily leverage. And again, no one has to run over there, and you don't have to sign up. That pricing is only for through this Friday, and again, it's I think $59.95 for a year. If you're a student of Derenoncourt University, $29.95. You're going to see links to Forbes articles. The multi-level marketing program will continue to add to those pieces. But if you're looking for a way to take this message, quickly leverage it, there's where the opportunity is. Once again, the other important thing is that anyone who's online that doesn't want to do it or just wants to build their own, you can review and read all the stuff. There's some powerful statistics, some moving ideas and strategies that you can probably create 5 to 10 blog posts by just reading the sample material and pulling some data from it. So no matter what, we want to be on your side because long term, my goal is to really help people retire well, to make a successful transition financially as well as personally, and that means replacing the work identity, filling their time, staying connected, and really creating a happy, healthy, and connected retirement. So that's kind of the quick overview. Leslie, if you've got some stuff you want to share, some feedback, or want to start taking some questions, we can jump right into that.
Absolutely, Robert. Thank you very much for that. I know wherever you get technical challenges, it throws people off, but you certainly delivered the message. And I want everyone to understand on this webinar, the purpose of this is, the facts and figures and a lot of things I've shared with you in the weeks leading up to this is all in this information and we got in these guides. What we wanted to do tonight is to give you the overview of the strategy of how you can now go out to this community and group of individuals empowered with information that Robert's put together on a strategy that he's been utilizing to get clients for himself in the financial advisory sector. So, but logically, if you think about it, if he's saying to these individuals, not only do you need to manage your money effectively, but you need to generate additional income, or you need to have a purpose to other aspects that I'm finding that you have needs in, other areas outside of financial, forming a business and having a relationship, that is part of the strategy of showing them what what we're doing, and also addressing their needs, some of their concerns about health and how they're feeling, and helping with that so they won't be depressed. That's all the individual. There are different things that we can bring to the table. So I thought the strategy was powerful because it gets you to sit down with somebody and get them to educate them without having to explain and lead them to the conclusion what an MLM is, as opposed to start leading with an MLM, defending it, and having to be on a defensive. So logically, when everyone knows all the things that an MLM or any other entrepreneurial business could do, and see that it fits their needs, they're looking at it differently. They're more open, they're more likely to try it, they're more likely to try the products in anticipation of joining or maybe doing a business out of it. So that's why I was excited about Robert had to do. And not only that, in the future, Robert has some even more advanced steps and some individuals to really get you in front of massive amount of people. And the reason I got really interested is I shared this with Robert is when I looked up the percentage breakout of the individuals I'm presenting to, or on the very calls that I host every day with 300 to 500 people plugging in, noticed that most of the individuals were 50 and older. And it just so it was so our business is already reflecting this dynamic, but the question is, are we focused there or is it by accident? So this whole webinar and the going of the strategy of what Robert brings to the table is to allow you the tools to now go out there and harvest what has been the more successful aspect of our business. I know in my business, and I have not always focused there. So I think this is a refocusing and a strategy that I think is going to be well positioned to help a lot of people here. So once again, we're going to take some questions. You got some questions, type in the comments. I will send an email out to everybody who registered, and also all of you will have a chance to look at some of this recording again so you can digest some of the things Robert has to say. And then you can look at the website to see some of the material he has there. And there's a lot of statistics in this stuff, guys. We didn't want to make this a number cumbersome thing. We wanted you to come away with how this could make an impact, whether you sell a product or service, or whether you have a business, or whether you're an MLM or any traditional entrepreneurial business, and you're looking for individuals to invest with you. Baby boomers are there. They have money and they have needs that they need to address. So Robert, I think that kind of covers where I wanted to come from. So we'll take some Q&A, guys, and then we'll send out the price. Once again, don't worry about the numbers, guys. We'll send it out to you. And Derenoncourt University members get tremendous discount. As those of you who are not university members get a chance to, over the next few days, join the university, and then you can actually then register for Robert's program. If you want to register for his program, once again, it's an annual fee, and believe me, the first year is even worth it because you will see an ability to go out there and utilize this information to help you move products and services. And I know there's a lot of products I market that fits the baby boomers, and to be honest with you, I have not been marketing to them properly. So now with this information, I'm re-strategizing my marketing strategy for my products, services, my social media strategy, and more importantly, my strategy to look at individuals to want to become entrepreneurs that I can help them do that. So that's it, guys. I'm going to take your Q&A here. Robert, I'll start from the beginning.
Sure.
Okay. All right, here we go. We got to start with 7:30. Okay, will you have adding more content to website? Okay, will you be adding more content to website? I don't know what that means. Have you had a chance to look at the website? How do you approach the baby boomers that are fixed income? How do you approach the baby boomers that are fixed income, Robert?
Well, it really depends on how you want to build your business. Is that a profitable way to build your business? Because again, if there's fixed income, there's not going to be dollars to invest or grow their own business. And again, I'm not saying that they have to be not part of the program, but is that a profitable niche where you can truly grow your business, or is it more or less something because you want to help them out? And so if you want to help them out, you're going to have to look at discounted approaches for them to get there because they have fewer dollars, and of course be able to illustrate savings that you provide. But it's going to be a tough market, just because if people don't have money, it's going to be hard to convince them to spend the money, whether it's just to join or to buy the product, especially if they're already set in their ways. And so again, that's why it comes back to identifying that profitable niche that says, hey, is this the group of people I want to focus on if I want my business to get to this point? If it's not, again, if it's not going to be about money for you, just a passion for helping that group, you're going to have to be able to illustrate the savings you can provide with your products or services.
Awesome. The next question, Robert, is how long has the program been in effect? How long have you been having the program in effect?
The program's been in effect for a little bit over a year now, and it's really just an offshoot from something I've been doing for 5 years. And so I do it for financial advisors. And again, the idea is when you call someone up as a financial advisor and say, I'm a financial advisor, they hang up. But when you say you're a member of the Retirement Project and we provide educational information on everyday life and retirement, the barriers go down and the doors open up. And advisors have been doing this for years, whether we teach a course on Social Security, on everyday life or long-term care, we always just want to get in front of people. And that's what the program is designed to do, to create low barrier conversations and to get you in front of people. You mentioned the advanced stuff that'll be coming out. We will be offering, for a separate fee, the ability to teach a course on 50-plus entrepreneurship. That's very important because, once again, when you talk about baby boomers, they like to be around themselves. And so you don't want to just teach an entrepreneurship course because they don't want to be in a room with a 25-year-old. They're not going to show up. But if you say, hey, it's 50 or 55-plus entrepreneurship, and you're teaching a course at a community ed or a community college and it's just 1 or 2 nights, you're going to be able to get in front of a lot of people. Now that's something that we hope to roll out in the next couple months, but the program is pretty straightforward. It's a low barrier marketing program designed to come alongside what you're already doing, provide trust, expertise, and credibility very quickly.
Okay, the next question, we're going to try to get as many questions in here. With the amount of MLM scams, how are we able to break the ice with them, especially when it's our first initial contact? That's a good question.
I think it's about retirement. And so if you're approaching baby boomers, say, have you thought about what life's going to be like in retirement for you? Have you thought about turning a passion or a hobby into retirement income? Have you thought about starting a business in retirement? There's a lot of different ways. Again, have you heard about the dark side of retirement? Very simple, low barrier questions that you just got to get people talking, and everyone's talking about retirement. And again, it could be simple as, hey, have you saved enough for retirement? Well, yes or no. Or have you thought about what your identity is going to be, what you're going to do with your time? So if you focus on really that aspect, you're going to open up a lot more doors. So just think of it more about relationship building, or like when you're dating someone, you're just going to get curious and ask a lot of questions. And retirement is a pretty open door for most people. It's a popular topic, and so it's a low barrier to do it.
Okay, the next question is, what is the track record, if any, i.e. stats on drawing baby boomers to an MLM? Do you have that?
Well, I don't know, and I think, again, it's about awareness. And I think one of the things I'm always surprised about people is they're looking for a one-trick pony. This is not a one-trick pony, and it's not going to turn you into a superstar overnight. And I point that out because the reason you should be in business is because you're passionate about the business and you're passionate about helping people. I write for Forbes. I literally have millions of people read my stuff. It doesn't mean they automatically come knocking on my door all the time. I still have to work very hard to build relationships. I got to turn people into fans first, and then I got to have a low barrier offer, and then I got to take a next step. And so it's very much the same. This is a relationship building tool that is very simple for a lot of people to adapt to, because sometimes talking about a business or starting a business or running a business or an MLL is hard, and you end up defending it a lot. I'm saying position yourself as an advocate, as an educator that says, listen, I've been doing some research, looking around, talking to some experts on the topic, and when you look at retirement, you not only have to have the financial stuff ready, but you need to personally be ready. If you don't have a plan for that, you're going to fail no matter how much money you got. That's a very different conversation than trying to defend an MLM or other things. So build the relationship first and slowly work them towards the opportunity. And they may not decide to go that route, but that's okay. You still have established that relationship, and while it may not be right away, it could be over time. The other thing I'll say is, when it comes to business, it's time in, not timing. Financial services is the same way. The point for me to meet someone and turn them into a client could be anywhere from a a year to 3 years. But what I do is once I meet them, I email them, I share ideas with them, I follow up with them, I touch base with them, and at some point they're going to need me. And I want to be in the top aspect of their emails. And again, that's easily accomplished by being an advocate. You can be out there looking for any articles about business or blogging stuff from the guides or from the articles. It's very easy to stay in touch, and when they're ready, they're going to know to come to you.
Awesome, awesome. The question earlier was, are you going to add additional content going forward to the website? Are you always going to be adding content, or is it a template that's going to stay pretty fixed?
I don't like to set myself for anyone up. So for the most part, we want it's going to be the template. Ideally, because, I mean, if we want you to join every year, we're going to have to, or re-sign up every year, we'll have to provide more content. And so we will be, but I think for the most part, I like to set the tone that this is the starting point, and ideally we'll continue to add articles, continue to offer more guides, and again, have, separate offers with the ability to teach courses and other things. And again, Leslie, we talked about this,
That's
especially
right.
for your university, like, we want to be there for you, so we'll do some check-in calls and kind of follow up with people. I mean, we created the stuff because we want you to be successful with it, not just hey, hurry up and sell it, because if we don't help you be successful with it, we're not going to be able to sell it to other people. And so we're committed to that part, but I like to tell people up front that the template is there. We will continue to add things, but it should be perceived as that's your starting point.
Okay, some people are asking, can they make some adjustments to the template with their graphics or some information they could add?
No, we don't allow adjustments to it simply because of the time it would take. That's where the downfall of the pricing is. So anytime you look at like a web format, if people send, separate changes or want to continue to make changes, that's where the man hours come in.
Right.
So making an adjustment like to your bio once you enter it in, or if your address changes or other things, but we would not be enhancing the site. That again is why you're getting it for $60. Now, if that's something you want to do, or let's say you're a coach and you've already got your own website and you just want the co-branded guides, yeah, we can work with you on that aspect. So that's something you can just email me about. Email is just rl@robertlaura.com. So just my initials at my name.com. So if you already are in a situation where you have a website, you want to use the guides, and again, what's nice about the guides and everything is they're all social media ready. So literally when you get your link, and it takes 5 minutes once you fill in the form, you can post them in social media and people can go to that link and see it. So we're happy to work with people, but we won't be like adjusting. We're not going to give you another page or upload graphics, because that's where we would have to charge 10 times as much, and we think it's less appealing at that level.
Okay, the next question is the information on retirementbusiness.org, is it digital or is it hard copies you print out?
It's all digital.
Awesome. All right.
And here's the thing, you can print it, but it's one of those things that even for myself, I have found that I like to keep things digital, because it's easy to, so what happens if you put it as an attachment in an email, it's going to get blocked by a lot of companies and certain websites, and so by sending a link, you improve your email rates, you improve your social media rates, and so digital is kind of, it's becoming essential. It's not to say that, obviously people, if they get the link and they want to print it off and read it, I like to print stuff off and read it. I just don't spend the money to print it off and hand it to people.
Awesome. Question, we're going to have to wrap up in a couple more minutes. What is the best way to reach baby boomers through social media? What lead statement or question could you lead to on that?
I really think it's, just along the lines of business. Have you thought about starting a business in retirement? Or because again, when you've got to have something to back it up. So social media is about creating conversation too, right? And so I love the dark side of retirement. I mean, it sounds like a depressing topic, but it's so shocking. People don't know what to do about it. And so again, just go to that guide, that sample guide, and look inside there. And just posting something that says, did you know that the rate of addiction is expected to double by 2020 for baby boomers because they don't have a way to replace their identity in retirement? That gets people talking. That's the whole idea. Same within the retirement secret. I think I forget the statistic, but let's just say it's 3 out of 5 people expressed an interest in starting a business to have a bigger impact. And so if you had it your way, what would you want to start a business about? And so just be you, be conversational, be curious about what it's going to take, and just start those conversations. And again, throw in feelings and shares and get rid of the dollars and cents and help people focus on those things.
Awesome, awesome. Sounds good to me. Okay, somebody said great idea on the 50 plus workshop. That thanks a whole lot. I appreciate that. Uh, Let me see. I think there's going to be a lot of social media. I'm going to be focusing on a lot of social media strategy in the university for the baby boomers. My topic is going to be around a lot of what Robert's doing to support our initiative in the baby boomers, because that's what I'm doing myself, and I think it's a great strategy. So we're going to spend a lot of time talking about it. So a lot of these questions you guys are answering, we'll be able to utilize, I think, Robert's information to get you positioned and understand it better, and then we'll, fill it in with what we need to do to contact people. How do we lead? What kind of you lead with? So I'll be doing a lot of that with
Real quick,
individuals.
Leslie, I just want to share too, like something I want to point out. I would say 90% of the stuff I try fails. Um, and that's important as business owners to realize that I put so much stuff out there that I have no reason but to succeed. And I don't feel bad when something doesn't work, or my approach doesn't work, or my post doesn't get a certain amount of likes or dislikes. But what I've done over a period of time is whittled down what works and what stimulates my target market. It's the same for you. Don't wait to try to figure out what the perfect social media post is. Go out there and just start having conversations. Have some fun. Realize not everything's going to work, but keep track of what is and keep leveraging it.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Well, Robert, we're gonna have to wrap up because there's a webinar coming up right after us. So here's the deal, guys. I'm gonna repeat. A couple people have some questions about what's the cost. So the website right now, if is it's 29.95 if you are a university member, Derenoncourt University member. It is 59.95 if you are not a member and you don't want to be a member and you just want to move forward with the program with Robert. So either way, you get that going there. So we will send out the two links to you by email. So whatever email that you registered in today, we'll send that out to you as well. And then we'll be, if you have any questions, I'll probably blast out and maybe do a quick call to answer everybody's questions towards the end of the week. You have till Friday evening to make a decision, guys. Either way, or you just you whatever use whatever information Robert's provided, and there's some information that you could get there that's free of charge. You could utilize that and do what you got to do. But this is a great way to really get at a lot of baby boomers who are struggling in all different areas for different reasons. Not maybe not financially, but socially, psychologically. So with that said, Robert, I appreciate you so much. Once again, we're gonna email out everything. So, and I'll send out this recording to everybody who registered so they can watch it again. Our goal is to simply assist you, and Robert has a lot of information in these guides, a lot of information he's taken years to accumulate, and he's utilizing to build his business, and he has a successful financial advisory business. So it's not because we created this for MLMs, we created this for you guys to go after. This is something he's been doing as strategy, but we thought about it. He created his ways for, I think, first for other financial advisory people, but now also, if you think about anybody who wants to promote an entrepreneurial business, this information could come in handily. So we're going to work together with you to make that happen because we believe in it right here at Derenoncourt University. So, Robert, final words for everybody?
Have fun, uncover that passion, use the non-financial stuff, and again, grab that target and go out there and just be genuine and authentic about really helping people retire well. I appreciate the opportunity, Leslie. I appreciate everyone attending and look forward to speaking more with all of you. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Thank you once again. The university is simply www.dduniv.com, www.dduniv.com. But don't worry, we're going to send you all the links and the information in an email. Will be blasted out to everybody along with a copy, a link for this. This is going to be up in a personal YouTube channel for 1 week. You'll get a chance to watch it for 1 week, and then your decision by Friday if you want to join at the race. Otherwise, it goes back to the 129, and Robert keeps doing his thing, and you guys are welcome to do whatever you want after Friday. So we appreciate you, and I hope this has been helpful. I know it's helped my business. I'm already focused, and I've been better educated, and we just wanted to do the same thing for you guys. So thank you for being on, Robert, and thank you all for joining. And my apologies for technical difficulties, but guess what? We got it in and got it done. Thank you guys. Have a great evening, and look out for the link and look out for the email in your emails. Take care.